Security and the Social Security Administration. Folks, in the state of Utah, they implemented a state-level health exchange program for $600,000. Where is the other $53,400,000 in this grant application going to? Second point, our federal government doesn't have the money to give us for this. They're borrowing it, putting us in debt, our kids in debt, and we have to put a stop to it. And the gentleman that says he's trying to build the party, I agree with him 100%. But when I tell you what, when we have Republicans that are implementing Obamacare, and it has to do with more IRS agents, businesses having to submit 1099s on every transaction over $600. You guys that own businesses, think about that. This is part of Obamacare. I wholeheartedly support this resolution. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, my name is Amanda Teagarden. I'm the precinct chairman for Precinct 171, and I am urging everybody present here to support this resolution. We have an occasion as OK Safe to lobby our legislators, and when we found out what was in the grant and the state's response to the grant, we read it, and I will tell you that all it takes is reading the grant application and the state's response to know that we are heavily tied to the strings to the federal government. There is information sharing between what the state does and what the federal government is asking for. There is no exchange unless the states develop it. The federal government cannot do it unless the states, using the grant money, do it for them. We're asking you to please support this. I will tell you also that there is an abundance of ignorance at the Oklahoma legislature. A lot of them are well-meaning people who put their pants on one leg at a time just like everybody else, but they're not reading the grant application and they're making assumptions on the content based on talking points given to them that have 5 things in it, and that's all they're mimicking. Heritage Foundation, Massachusetts, Utah, free enterprise, and consumer-driven. The Obamacare and the grant is nothing like that. I ask you to please support this resolution.
I'm just an average person like a lot of you are. For the last year and a half, we've been fighting Obamacare. Now we have a chance to stand up, and we need to take this chance. I'm sick and tired of people in state Congress not understanding. They need to hear from us, and they need to hear you support getting rid of Obamacare, or you're finished up there. So,
thank you.
Sandy Garrett, Republican.
Sandy Garrett, what precinct?
Republican.
454. No, we got rid of her. The other Sandy Garrett. Sorry, I can't resist. Okay. We go directly to the vote of the resolution as stated and amended. And all those in favor of the resolution, this one I want to do a little bit differently. If you're in favor of this resolution and you can stand, let's stand up. I think he'd stand if he could. Thank you all. Those opposed by the same? All those opposed, please stand. See one in the back there. I won't call his name. The ayes appear to have it. The resolution passes. Any other resolutions?
Is there a doctor in the house? I want to know if there's a doctor in the house.
Right back there. Dr. Wooster's coming. Any other resolutions? Yes, sir. Please identify yourself and your precinct.
Mark Croucher, Precinct 701. This is almost like a, Mr. Chairman, this is almost like a rerun. Yes, sir. It is properly submitted, I do believe. Mark Croucher.
Make sure she posts it. The secretary has it. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Okay, very similar to the previous one we just had, with just a little bit more meat to it. And that is to stop the implementation of the Patient Protection Care Act and the Health Care and Education Reconciliation Act of 2010 in Oklahoma by either federal or state governments. Whereas Oklahoma has clearly voiced its opposition to Obamacare, and whereas the state of Oklahoma has filed a lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of Obamacare, and whereas Oklahoma has recently accepted a $54 million grant, the health insurance exchange is the cornerstone of Obamacare. Whereas the House has passed House Bill 2026 and House Bill 2130, establishing and defining the governance of the hub for health insurance exchanges. Therefore, let it be resolved that the majority of delegates attending this 2011 Tulsa County Convention, that we demand our elected representatives to comply with the 10th Amendment of the United States Constitution and the Constitution of the sovereign state of Oklahoma. We demand that the state Senate vote no on 2130, and we demand that our elected representatives repeal House Bill 2026 and dissolve the hub. And we demand that Governor Mary Fallin return the $1 million and the $54 million federal exchange grants. And we demand that our elected representatives refrain from any and all activities that would enable or implement Obamacare.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Do we have questions on the resolution? Yes, recognize yourself, please.
Don Berg, Precinct 61. I move we dispense with debate and go straight to a vote.
Chair says it sees that in order. Second. All those in favor of the resolution, let's stand again, please. Okay, sorry. Please sit down. My parliamentarian just corrected me. We have to take a vote on the suspension of the rules as proposed. All those in favor of suspending the rules signify by aye. Aye. Those opposed by the same. Now we're back to the vote on the resolution. All those in favor stand in favor of the resolution. All those opposed the same. Please stand. If you're opposed to the resolution, please stand. The chair sees that the ayes have it. The resolution passes.